What is up, fellow bench warmers? Welcome to your daily fantasy quick. Hey guys, what's up? Day 1 of week 22, and it's an exciting. How many games did we have today? Nine. Nine games.
Yeah, I think 9. Yeah.
Exciting 9 game slate. There's lots of great performances, and well, I'm not sure if it's kind of expected, but there's also lots of rest today and in the coming days, even for tomorrow. But I guess the biggest news today will be Chris Paul. The biggest news that's going around the fantasy world. Chris Paul, according to a report from The Athletic, that might come back sometime this week, I think, as the earliest.
According to the report, he's coming back the next game. I mean, there's a chance he comes back the next game. So, well, good for him if he does that.
Now, everyone's gonna be asking, do you add him? Do you use a move on him?
I don't know.
I know you thought about it.
Yeah, I thought about it, but I really feel like it's a long shot for him to come back the next game. The next game.
What's this? Is this a 6-week mark?
No. The 6-week mark is supposed to be April 3, so it's a 4-week mark. So I think he's okay. I think he recovered fast. That's good. But I don't know if they're gonna force him to come back earlier than he expect. Yeah. I mean, this early. 2 weeks early. Maybe a couple of days, 1 week early is okay.
And there's no incentive for them to play.
Yeah.
They're what? 6-7 games ahead of the.
I think number? 9, right? 8 or 9 games ahead. 8 or 9 games ahead.
Why would they play him? Here's the thing. If they play him, especially this early, and especially if he hasn't really healed as well. I mean, maybe it's healed, but he's gonna play through it somehow or wants to play. Teams will target that hand for sure.
Well,
I mean, that's how NBA goes, right?
Sorry, Jeremy, we are from the Philippines, because here in the Philippines, that's how we play basketball. We no blood, no foul.
It's the hand. It's the hand.
Yes.
It's not like a knee injury wherein it's gonna be difficult to target or hip, but it's a hand. People would really swipe at him at the ball, try to hit that hand, and especially contending teams. If they go through a player like Pat Beverly, who else, right? Those bad boys type of players.
They could choose their matchups, I guess. I don't think a lot of teams will intentionally hit the hand, but I get your point that it could get hit in the middle of the game. Like how the injury happened. It was a freak injury anyways, right? It wasn't even even intentional. My point is, why are they gonna play him? I think they want to get him a few games to get him in the rhythm for the playoffs. That's possible. That is why I'm just kind of skeptical about him coming back right the next game, because I think maybe next week would be the better time. I'm just thinking logically, maybe the next week will be the better time. Him when I had the chance. Not yet. Let's see if they announce he's coming back. If I can still add him, I will add him. But now I'm not gonna waste a move. Not on the finals week. No,
not on the finals week for some of you guys. But if it's not yet, it's still hard. Even if it's not the finals week, if you're in the quarters, if you have limited moves, 4 moves, 5 moves. I mean, if you have 6 or 7 moves, I think that would be okay. But if you have 4 or 5 moves, that might not be enough, and you might be wasting that one move for Chris Paul, who might not even play, and you might not even use him.
Yeah, but 5 is okay. But I don't know a lot of leagues that have 5. Usually it's 3 or 4.
3 or 4. So, mostly it's 3 or 4. So that's the Chris Paul news. Like I said, rest were plenty today. Embiid and Harden both rested.
Surprisingly, yeah.
And surprisingly, they won today.
Yeah, but I guess that's probably going to be their strategy. They won't rest one; they'll rest both. I think the only reason that they're playing them is they want chemistry, more games for both of them together to build their chemistry. So if one is resting, they might as well just rest both. I think that's one takeaway from this thing that they did.
Yeah.
The good news is the Sixers does not have any more back-to-backs this week. So they're probably gonna play the remainder of 3 games. Sadly.
And Embiid, like we said, is gunning for that MVP. So I don't think he's gonna miss a lot of
Yeah.
games as long as he's healthy. As well as James Harden, I think he's really not a player known to miss rest a lot of games unless he's not happy. So I think, yeah, let's hope that they continue to play for the rest of the week. Chris Middleton will be out tomorrow.
That's a rest thing.
Yeah, that's interesting. We haven't really heard of any injury to Chris Middleton. So players like Pat Connaughton, Grayson Allen, these players might be good streams for tomorrow's games in case you are daily to day format. Um, Jeremy Grant and Robert Williams also had their rest today, and that's the reason why uh, Al Horford had a good game, great game today. 3 steals, 3 blocks, and nice across the line numbers.
So
And
I think it's key right now to check the back-to-backs. If you're who have the back-to-backs, we post it in our schedule analyzer, and you have to check it because with Robert Williams resting in a back-to-back, the other players should probably also have rest like that. Tomorrow Chicago has a back-to-back, so maybe Levine, maybe Caruso, maybe even Vucevic. There will be more rest. There will be more rest coming up.
Yeah. And Andre Drummond and Marcus Smart also rested. Or I'm not sure if they really
No, they
rested.
have illness.
Yeah,
they have illness. Drummond and Smart.
Yeah, so
that one is more probably could prolong into the next game because illness usually one or 2 games. Usually players miss 1 or 2 games.
Yeah.
So Drummond or Smart, there's a chance they miss another game.
Not really very fantasy relevant, but it's a closure, I guess. Lonzo Ball, Dame Lillard,
Ben Simmons.
You just drop them all together.
At least we got some explanation to Ben Simmons' back thing. He has an herniated disc. That's painful, and that makes it almost very unlikely he plays this week or early next week. So he's a drop, easy drop. Lonzo is an easy drop, and Dame, of course, for next season.
Officially out.
He's ready for next season.
Yeah, officially
Zion
out
also.
for the season.
Zion.
And yeah, so those are some updates.
Their update that Paul George is actually played 4-on-4. So that's a positive update. At this point, if you're until week 24, the only really to stash is probably AD and Paul George. I mean, I don't care about MPJ. I don't care about Jamal. They're not gonna be anything. So those are the only 2 really that have a long-term makes ones that have really long-term injuries. Miles Turner, MPJ, those guys, I don't think it's worth stashing anymore at this point.
And it's not even we only have 2 to 3 weeks left, so I don't think they're gonna be very significant fantasy wise as well. Just talk about some waiver ads in case you're looking for players. Torian Prince, we've been talking about him a lot in past cookies. Should be a good stream if you need the threes and steals. I think those are the 2 categories.
And his clone is Reggie Bullock, who came back today for Dallas. So Torian and Reggie Bullock, threes and steals. I prefer Prince over Bullock, but Bullock has more minutes. But Prince, greater per minute guy.
Yeah. Sengun, well, probably safe to say that there's really no unleashed Sengun at this point. I don't think he's gonna be unleashed at the way we want him or the way fantasy managers want him to be unleashed. But yeah, he's been helping at least.
Not with how Christian Wood played today. I mean, 8 3-pointers, 11 out of 14, 39 points, 10 rebounds. So, that's the numbers we were hoping Sengun would be doing. But as I said, Sengun was just a victim of the hype. The numbers he's been doing now, 7.7 rebounds, couple of assists, 2 great blocks, and then some steals. Those are good numbers. Those are useful numbers. So he's useful. He's just not the Sengun we thought we knew.
Here's the thing right now. I think those numbers might mean very little during the regular season, but during fantasy playoffs, those numbers are very, very helpful. If you get a player from your waiver wire who can give you those numbers, those are big additions already. 1 steal, 2 blocks, 7.7 rebounds. Not many can give you those across the board numbers from your waiver wire. So I think at least that's the silver lining.
And we talked about Houston's schedule already this week. And I'm going to give you their schedule next week also. They have very, very good schedule. So aside from that Dallas game, 2 Portland games, Sacramento, San Antonio, then Sacramento again, then Minnesota. Imagine that kind of that's how many straight games. Portland, Sacramento, San Antonio, Sacramento. That's 5 games of matchups like that. So they're good matchups.
That's
Houston really is a team that's 5 straight.
5 tanking matchups.
Yes.
The tanking champion.
2 Portland, 2 Sacramento matchups, and then San Antonio. So and those are great. That's why
the bonus here is if in one of those games they decide to rest Christian Wood, right?
Christian Wood, yes.
That's a possibility that they will rest Christian Wood in at least one game. Yes. I think that's my guess. They'll probably rest him
in the Portland series, the back-to-back Portland games.
Yeah,
he could miss one.
Yeah, and that's the bonus already.
Because I think Houston is the worst team right now in the West, but Portland, I mean,
wants that crown.
Yeah, yes, they want to challenge it. So maybe Houston said, "Not too fast." Christian Wood, sit down. Eric Gordon, sit down. I mean, not too fast.
Yeah.
So there.
Other players, Royce O'Neal, been helpful all throughout the season. I think I don't see him being dropped. Could be valuable. I was supposed to drop him today, but really had to think twice about dropping him. Player like him could be really helpful in the playoffs as well. Across the board.
Yeah, the blocks, rebounds, steals, 3-pointers. He has been quietly good. I feel like a lot of people will drop him after today, after 0 points today. But he was able to help with 8 rebounds and 3 blocks. You can't find that. You can't find that kind of help in the.
Yeah, not many would be able to help you like that. Nick Claxton got the start today because Andre Drummond was out. So another player that you could
sick.
add. Yeah, and he's sick. So we don't know the extent of that, but yeah, could be a good add. Alex Caruso should be a very helpful streamer for the coming days.
Today and back. So Caruso is a steals guy. Not as good as we thought, but still helpful with the volume games for the Bulls.
Yeah. And who else? Raul Neto had 10 assists today, so could be in case you need assists. Trey Mann was hot today, 35 points, 7 threes. So if you got him for today's game, that pretty much helps you a lot in the threes and points department category.
Trey Mann, Poku,
OKC guys.
Those two are really the only ones. those two are the solid guys. Roby, I just can't trust him. I mean,
And
after double double
Wiggins has
today,
been
six
bad.
rebounds.
Wiggins has been
Yeah,
bad too.
Wiggins also. So the OKC guys really Poku and Man at this point. Poku and Man.
Yeah. And also Derek White helped today because of the absence of Marcus Smart. So those players could be your maybe deeper leagues. Lamar Stevens could be an
Yeah,
ad
he
in very
Dean Wade is out for the season. So Stevens started. He got 35 minutes. And so he's not the really great per minute guy, but he can score, can rebound for a small forward. Not a shooter, but can get sometimes one 3-pointer. So yeah, deep league, somebody to consider.
Yeah, and lastly among the ads is Dwight Powell, who was
And
8 of 8 from the
8 of
field.
8,
You know, if
20.
Dwight Powell plays well, he's really a player that you will drool about his stats.
Check the field goal percentage of Dwight Powell. Not only is he averaging 65% field goal, I think since December, he has only 2 games below 50% shooting. For a guy who shoots out from outside, as a big man, he shoots from the outside. And free throw wise, also solid today, 6 of 7. He had a steal, 2 blocks. Not consistent, but won't hurt you. That's the best thing that you could say about.
He's not as popular as Kleber.
Yeah.
But he is very efficient. And like I said, when he plays well, you're gonna love the stats. The consistency is just not there. But so has Kleber doesn't have consistency as well. But they give different stat set. If you want better field goal, you go for Dwight Powell. If you want more threes, you go for Kleber. So yeah, Dwight Powell. Hopefully, he gets a few. He can string a few good games as well. Let's talk about a few good player. Who do you like to talk about? Westbrook.
I just before the field good, just talking about the upcoming schedule, back to backs, teams with back to backs: Orlando, Atlanta, I think New York, and I forgot the other one. There's 4 of them. So
Golden State.
Check
Golden
those
State.
players. Golden State. Yeah, there are a lot of streamers in those 4 teams. Just to remind you guys, if you want one stream for the next 2 games, check those teams. For feel good, yeah, Westbrook. Let's talk about Westbrook. I love Westbrook the past 4 games. I mean, give credit to him also. We've been criticizing him, but he's been delivering in the fantasy playoffs. 18-7-7, 1 steal, 49% field goal. Not bad. Not bad if you own him.
Yeah, is this it for Westbrook and the Lakers? Is this the did they find the groove that they want?
I think so. What the good thing is Westbrook is not forcing things. The usage rate is down. The usage rate is down for Westbrook, and he's just picking his spots when LeBron is resting. Even when LeBron is resting, actually he's picking his spots. I like that. I like the fact that he doesn't have to feel like if LeBron is resting, I have to be the LeBron because he's not there anymore. He's not LeBron. It's not even Westbrook anymore, even with or without LeBron. So he's just staying in his lane, not getting a lot of turnovers, only 2 or 2.5 the past 5-6 games.
Yeah.
So all positive.
That's a few already for Westbrook.
Yeah. You know what's funny? Right now, if your team owns Westbrook, Christian Wood, KPJ, your team is doing well. Right? Yeah. We always say these guys, you won't depend them on the fantasy playoff. They'll kill you, they'll do this, they'll do that. But even if you own RJ Barrett, right? Even if you own Keldon Johnson, these guys are actually the ones carrying still alive. Yeah. Right? So you can't been unpredictable season.
The playoffs,
Christian Wood and who could
the playoffs is always unpredictable. The rest, the rest factor, and of course, who plays and who plays really well. Except for maybe a few players like LeBron, Durant, those are matchup proof players, right? Gobert, those will give it to you every night in and night out. But for the
But
others,
but
uh,
if you tell me LeBron is playing and Lillard is not the start of the season, I won't believe you.
yeah,
Right? I
there,
won't believe you. I'll not even gamble any part of my money to take that bet. It's something that defies logic.
yeah,
What LeBron did today, unbelievable performance, which
but
we saw, which we predicted.
yeah, and you know, just too good. I think LeBron for his age, just too good. I
Yeah,
know, hard to debate about him being part of that GOAT conversation, and that might trigger a lot, but yeah, just too
but
good.
I guess
At what,
but
37? He's what, 37?
37 turning 38. But I guess my point here is there are some biases on some players that you I think sometimes have to really think properly. It doesn't mean you don't pick a player because of this bias or that bias. SGA is playing. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
still playing.
Right? So,
So
what are some of the things you'd never really expected happening at this point? You know, like SGA still playing, Christian Wood still
and
playing,
playing
right?
well.
Yep,
Christian
playing
Wood is
well.
playing the best ball he's been playing for the season. So my point is there are injury prone players. There really are injury prone players. And I'm not saying that you should disregard that, but there are sometimes players that are unfairly being labeled as injury prone. Like Embiid, for instance, no? But there are players who are really injury prone. So it's a matter of balancing it during the drafts.
Here's
Balancing it. Not
here's
totally ignoring players like that.
here's uh another player you didn't expect to be missing out this many games towards the end. Fred VanVleet. Um,
Yeah, Fred Van Vliet.
I
Yeah,
mean, at this
that's true.
point, I think he would rather own Shea than Fred VanVleet here in the playoffs, right? I mean, Shea has played pretty much all of the playoff games except for one, I guess, the past few weeks.
Yeah.
But Van Vliet has been in and out of that lineup. So it's really hard to own him at this point. That's another disappointing player, I would say. Not as disappointing as Lillard and PJ, but still disappointing for those who picked him. So yeah.
Yep.
So yeah,
Correct.
that's it for our daily fantasy conclusion. Talk about the in-season review, maybe as we end the season, or as we after week 24, we can wrap things up. All these things, a review of what happened during the season, a look back to what happened, maybe after week 24. But for now, good luck in your playoffs, and yeah, we'll see you guys again tomorrow for another daily fantasy. Bye, guys.